technology shapes us, but we also shape technology. And it's this interesting symbiosis. And I believe you can see what the future looks like when you just look at kids, how naturally they move between the digital and the real world, the analog world.
Creativity, it's here. It's already living and amongst us.
I think creativity may not be a thing unto itself.
La creatividad es poder.
Así que yo creo que la creatividad es la perfecta expresión de la evolución humana.
When I think about liberty and technology, I actually don't think that we lose our liberty per se. I think what happens is that when a new technology comes along, think about social media or, like your kids playing games all day long. It takes us as humans a while to get used to the technology, to understand how we use the technology. And I think it's interesting when you look at very young kids and their use of social media, for example, they use it very differently than we. Like we might be addicted to Facebook. They are not anymore. So I think there's a piece in there which is much more around how can we, as a society, become a bit more mindful about the use of technology. And then make no mistake, I believe that as creators of technology, we have a social responsibility towards creating technology which is not addictive, which is not bad. The beauty of the web is that you can see the source code of the page. Every browser has this as a feature. You can see what the page is made of, how it is being made. And I believe that if we want to create technology which creates makers, and we need more makers in the world, we need to build this capability into the technology. So as long as you can use a technology and you can take it apart, it's a little bit like when we were kids, I took my bicycle and I took it apart and I looked at how it works. As long as we can do that, I think we are really in a good shape. I believe once we take this away and a camera just becomes a shiny toy and it has a button on it and you don't know what the thing actually does anymore, then we're in trouble because then you're just a consumer. So I think it's really important that we have the ability to take it apart, to look at how it is being made, and then have the ability to make it ourselves. And I think we can. I think, the tools are there. It's just a question of us wanting to do it. There's a misperception about the metaverse, which is a lot of people look at what Facebook shows you as the metaverse. We put on VR goggles and we are in this VR world. I think that's only a part of the metaverse, and I don't even think it's the most important part of the metaverse. I will make the argument that we all live in the metaverse already, because you spend a lot of time on your digital device. You buy stuff online, you entertain yourself online, you communicate online, looking into a little device. So I would say we are already in the metaverse. I think we will spend not as much time as Facebook or Meta, the company now, wants you to believe in this world where we wear these 3D goggles and stuff. You will do this, but I don't think you will do a lot of it. I think what's much more bigger is augmented reality. So the idea that we overlay information in our field of vision, Google Glass, which clearly was a failure, but 10 years from now will be successful, or a different product like it. We've done a very large research study where we interviewed 250 leaders in companies which are successful, which actually manage these state changes we talk about. And we asked them a simple question. We said, what is it you're doing to be successful? And they responded. And as you can imagine, when you ask a lot of people, you see patterns emerge. You see the same things coming over and over. And the responses we got were predominantly around these companies manage very well how to manage the tension between you have a core business today, which you need to make money with, and you need to do this crazy thing on the edge, which is new. And it's very different. And they manage this tension really, really well. And then also, their leaders showed a couple things which I found were really interesting. One is they were all truly committed to the change. So they said, We're not just talking about the change. We are willing to live with the pain which we need to go through to make the change actually work. And the second thing is they also all understood that change is not something you can do overnight. It's not something you can do in 3 months or 6 months. It takes years. And so they stood behind their companies and said, we know where we need to go. We have a clear vision of where we want to go. We know it will take us a while, and we're here to actually get through it. And that requires a very special type of leadership. It requires a very thoughtful, committed leader for the long term.